everyone, 3 years ago we posted this comparative analysis between Lake Resources and core lithium, and I thought about doing exactly the same today, as those stocks have been rallying quite substantially. In fact, 3 months ago I did an analysis specifically on core lithium, and I warned that core lithium was prone for a rally. It was 8 cents at the time. Now it's trading around 22 cents. So there was quite substantial rally right there. Our VP members had the opportunity to take a look at an analysis, even some entry and trading setups that we done for core lithium right there. But Lake Resource we just left behind. And looking at the chart, we realize both of them have been rally and they building momentum as we speak. We're going to be looking at individual charts for both of them, and also the key milestones for those two companies going ahead 2026 and beyond. So if you're holding any of those three stocks or are interested into buying those stocks, this is a video for you. Let's have a look. My name is Les, I'm Chief Analyst of BG Trading Australia. Hope you are well. Today is December 4, 2025. I would like to remind this is not a financial advice, just as from BG Trading, sharing with you how we analyze stocks, place trading setups together with our VP members to chase 20 to 40% or more profit with 1 to 3 months using very tight stop losses. We normally trade small and mid-sized caps, sometimes large caps, sometimes nano caps, but we tend to avoid nano caps due to the risks. We have been doing very well during the year. Last month has been a little bit painful with this correction, right? But that allowed us to position ourselves into really good stocks that are set to rally in January and February 2026. A little bit of patience, and I'm pretty sure we are well set. If you like the video and the content of this channel, please subscribe right now, hit the like button and share this video with someone that you believe will be interested on this content. Also, I'd like to invite you for our free Discord group, details at the description below, right? And obviously our Facebook group as well, and our Facebook page, BG Trading, or Buy, Grow and Sell Strategy for Share Traders. A lot of great quality content since Facebook has got rid of all those chat groups. We came up with Discord, so take a look on our Discord. Right? We talk about stocks every single day because we love stocks, we love money, obviously. Now let's start with Lake Resources first. I've done this stock analysis on Lake Resources, right? I had to understand where Lake Resources are at this stage in terms of pipelines and production and stuff. And here's what I came up with. Before that, if you don't know Lake Resources, it is a lithium developer, right? And they are on a flagship project called Cache project. It is in Argentina, right? Core Lithium Finnish project is in Australia, right? That's one of the reasons I like Core Lithium better anyway, because the project is in Australia compared to Lake Resources. But anyway, let's focus on Lake Resources. Lake Resources project is a large deposit of lithium brine resources. And they say it's the largest in the world. The whole area is the largest in the world. But what they focus in developing this project within this jurisdiction. And then obviously, they want to deliver about 25 million tons per annum of battery-grade lithium carbonate. At least in the phase 1 of Finnish project, at least in phase 1 of a Cache project, with a feature option to double to 50 tons per annum of output. I'm not going to go in detail on the Cache project, but let's go straight on the milestones here, because that's, if you're buying stock which is speculative, this is a highly speculative stock as well as core lithium, right? Both highly speculative stocks. If you want to play on the lithium sector, safer, then go for Pilbara and Liontown, right? Don't mess it up with those stocks. This is for anybody that understand a little bit the story of those two companies and believe we're going to have a substantial rally continuation in 2026 lithium prices. So then obviously we could see those stocks double and even potential triple from now. Now, Lake Resources finished project milestones. At the moment, they are waiting for exploration environmental impact assessment approval, right? Which is supposed to be coming in early stage of 2026. As soon as they have this, they will come up with final investment decision. This is key. Those two milestones are critical and will definitely have a profound impact on the stock price in the short term. And then obviously post 2026, post the exploration environmental impact assessment approval, then that's when they come up with final investment decision. Probably second half of 2026, realistically. And then construction in 2020, at the end of 2026 and 2027, right? For early production, so they already have a pilot plan there, but the early production in 2027 and 2028 with a ramp up 2029 towards early 2030s for a full 25 ton per annual, 25,000 ton per annual of production. So it's still quite some time for Lake Resources to become a tier 1 producer, right? Potentially to become a tier 1 producer, right? A lot to happen still. So you gotta be careful with that. It is a stock to play, yes, because it's still trading at very, very low prices, about 77.7 cents, like even under 8 cents as we speak. So it could be a potential upside still, again, like double, 3 times from now if lithium prices continues to move to the right direction. As you can see here, there was a substantial rally from June to August, and then a correction, and then a rally again from September to December. We could have a continuation. Yeah, we could. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, but we know there is a lot of demand for battery materials for 2026, 2027 towards 2030. So that's positive, but you got to take a long time approach here and understand and following each of those companies pipeline to ensure they are delivering what they are promising. And let's face it, Lake Resources never really delivered. They're supposed to start production in 2025. They haven't. And then they postponed to 2027. And I can see full production going towards 2028, 2029, to be honest. Just got to be careful with this one, right? Cash balance is thin, only 18 million as per 20th of September. Quarter result of Y20, first quarter result of Y26. That's the information from. Recently done a market placement with capital raising of 13 million. That will get them going for a little while, right? Lake has enough cash for at least 2 to 3 quarters before requiring more funds, unless obviously they spend, they manage to reduce further spending during 2026. They managed to reduce cost during this year to 40% towards FY26. That's a considerable reduction, right? And that exceeds the projection. Does the market care as much? Probably not really. Really looking at the milestones. That's what are they looking at? Okay, when a Lake Resource will actually start production or start building its full-scale facility. That's the main thing. That's where the market's looking at this stage. And obviously lithium prices too, right? Let's talk about probability capital raising within the next 12 months. Given that DFS is completed, okay, and also the EIA spending and final investment decision preparation requires engineering, contract partners, engagement. We're looking at cash running away in 3 quarters, right? No short-term revenue. So essentially, Lake Resources will run out of cash in 3 quarters. They will require another capital raising, right? And this is the problem with those companies anyway. And Lake Resources have been doing that for like years and years on a roll. Almost certain we require another capital raising in 2026, probably second half of 2026. But wouldn't surprise me if the share price just goes up substantially. Let's take a look here. Lake Resources, say the share price goes up substantially, 20 cents or something. Wouldn't surprise me. They come up with capital raising at any time, not in the second time. So just be careful. This is how those companies play. So here's demand outlook is strong, right? And let's take a look at the chart now. So Lake Resources trading pretty similar to Core Lithium and most of the other lithium stocks. As you can see here, in the last 12 months, we saw like Lake going up about 161%. That was quite substantial upside. A lot of people think sometimes those stocks, they rally really hard and they come back all the way down. But if you look at this strong volume here, this is very constructive, okay? Very constructive. And it wouldn't surprise me if Lake goes towards 15-20 cents in the next 6 months, right? But we need those milestones to be achieved, right? Very important. And obviously also we need lithium prices to continue to trade around this level and beyond, right? To make this rally sustainable. So it is speculative because we're speculating lithium prices, right, rising. And but let's take a look at the chart itself. Only by looking at the chart itself, we can see we have this explosive movement right there, and then a very tight consolidation at the lower volumes right there, which is very constructive. I'm going to, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, let me show you right here. So this is what I'm talking about. You see this rally right there, okay? There was a merging volume, a lot of green candles on the volume right there, as you can see. And then when it came in a tight consolidation, we saw a reduction, a considerable reduction on the volume, right? And that shows what I mentioned before, a tight consolidation. And then when Lake started going up again, the same happened. Strong volume on the upside, right? Was going up again. And today, down about 8%, we already have a reduced volume, right? Which still shows me a very constructive chart. It is in overbought area. Normally when the stocks go in overbought area, they tend to consolidate or coming down a little bit. Trading at the FOMO levels, you got to be careful. Those consolidations have to keep, right? If you're trading momentum stocks, right? Those consolidations have to keep those candles just right at the at the yellow line. The EMA, the exponential moving average, has to be above, right? If it goes below, you just gotta be careful. We would have a bearish intersection level 2, and if the stock breaks that bearish intersection, then it could come down all the way. Just gotta be careful with that, right? Lake Resources. Now let's take a look at Core Lithium. Core Lithium, unlike Lake, Core Lithium owns a project in Australia, Darwin, right, North Territory. 88% actually Port of Darwin. So strategically, Core Lithium's Finnish project is well positioned, and it facilitates logistics as well. Doesn't need to improve any logistics, and this company is well set to restart its production. There are a lot of great news in this particular stock in Core Lithium. One of those, and I'm going to highlight some of the news here, 33% increase in grants or reserves. So the company has improving its lifetime, the reserves, the recovery as well has been improving. Underground recovery has been improving as well. higher than in 2025 when they had this restart study. But what I really like here is the fact that they knocked about 35 million. Let me just find this new right here. They knock about 35 to 40 million dollars. Okay, 35 to 45 million dollars in pre-production capital needed to put the project online again. So this is huge, right? And I did cover this stock 3 months ago when I was trading at 8 cents, and I mentioned on our to our VIP, we even put analysis of core lithium with trading set up. So whoever bought at 8 cents will be laughing now because it's trading at 20 cents, right? But we didn't have this information, right? This information came up and the core lithium prices has skyrocketed because this make far more feasible for core lithium to find funding, right? Because before they would need half of the fund they raised recently, still have to raise another half, but now they have considerably reduced the required funding. They most likely will get away with minor capital raising or even doing some offtake prepay agreements, provided they already set to produce and they have all the production in open pit and underground mine ready to go, right? So that's huge. So if you're looking at playing here, one of those two stocks, I think core lithium would have a better upside and less risk here, because this is the company that is far closer to start producing again, right? And Lake Resources haven't even produced before. Okay, let's take a look on the milestones and the pipeline for core lithium, right? So the first one, they're looking at funding completion. So they're going to come up with the funding that is still required to bring Phoenix project online again, and then that will be in the Q1 and Q2 of this year. So the first half of this year, in other words, right? Not this year, 2026. And then as soon as like 4 to 6 weeks after the funding is complete, then final investment decision, right? And this first half could be huge, right? Could be huge if you have a confirmation that core lithium will restart this production with the final investment decision in place, right? Then obviously mobilization and contract 1 to 1.5 months after the final investment decision, first or produced 1 month after the mobilization. We'll be looking at end of 2026, beginning of 2027 for the first production, first shipment of ore from Phoenix project in Darwin. So 5 to 6 months post FID, right? Now let's take a look at chart formation for core lithium, right? They both are trading similarly, but core lithium is, let's take a look how much, what's the percentage core lithium actually moved. So about 140%, pretty similar to Lake Resources. Like all the levels of liquidity on those companies are reasonably low. It's not at the dangerous low, but it's reasonably low. It's easy to get out if you want, right? But you just gotta be careful. They move quite quickly, right? So what we're looking here is volumes, right? Let's take a look here. On the upside, you see an increase of volume and then consolidation, lower volume. Upside, increase of volume, consolidation, lower volume. We are taking a consolidation. The only thing, we have a red flag here, just be careful, is this red candle right there, but then we have a relatively low volume in comparison to the explosive bullish movements on the stock. RSI is still bullish, as you can see, converting into a bullish movement. And we could well see if this consolidation is confirmed, does it crash? We could well see core lithium into the next big move in early 2026, right? In anticipation of those milestones that we've been talking about, right? Funding completion, the first half, and then final investment decision about 4 to 6 weeks after the first half, so probably in the second half, and potential production at the end of 2026 and beginning of 2027. That's what the market will be looking at, especially if lithium prices continues to go up or stay at this level. So you just gotta watch lithium prices. These are the variable. That's why they are speculative trades. They are speculative stocks at this stage, because it depends on many variables to get right into this trade. And answering the question of this video, obviously in comparison to 3 years ago video that we posted, I would say that still my pick is called Lithium for the reasons I mentioned. Is the one that is closest to production. We'll be looking at 2027. Lake Resources doesn't have cash as well. More upside potential on Lake Resources, but extremely high risk on Lake Resources, right? Perhaps you could go half-half in any position of those two stocks and see which one outperform. Again, remember, any of those three stocks will depend on lithium prices and will depend on the milestones to be completed successfully without sort of frustrating the market. That's the key thing. Call Lithium might speak on this one. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.